tell you what an honor it is to be here at this event. I grew up in a great home, and it's really a privilege to be able to share a little bit about that with you guys, about Mom and Dad. But before I get started, and just in case you didn't know this could taint my message a little bit, but I'm the baby of the family. I'm a lot younger. Look at Linda and Jim over there. It's probably obvious to you, but the reason why this is important is that occasionally I've been accused of maybe messing up a few details of my early childhood. So Mom and Dad, they taught us right from wrong, right at the very beginning. Mom kept a strict eye on us and made sure we didn't veer from that right path. She was definitely the disciplinarian of the family. Dad, not so much. As a matter of fact, I feel like Mom helped Linda, Jim, and I all develop excellent planning skills, because if we wanted to do something wrong, we had to plan it really well or she was going to catch us. This close attention to detail has obviously served us well in our professional careers, so thank you, Henrietta. Mom was an incredible woman. Reverend Hall compared her to a wife of noble character from Proverbs 31, and I couldn't agree more. Growing up, it was obvious that Dad had confidence in her, that she ran our house well. She worked hard at everything she did, and she was constantly giving to others, especially those who were in need. All three of us, Linda, Jim, and I, we were pretty active in sports growing up and school stuff, and she ran us around all over the place, never complained. I can remember at least a couple times being in a baseball tournament, a rain delay, the game goes past midnight, she never complains. We talked about her driving and taking care of her aunts. They were in Sweetwater. This was almost a weekly thing for years, where she did yard work and cleaned and cooked for them. She was constantly cooking meals for those people around her that were in need. And she kept a very, very clean house. Like, so clean, it's maybe a little bit of a problem, to the point where sometimes we had a maid service and Dad and I would go, I wonder who's cleaning the house better right now. During the holidays, she made amazing meals. She was a great cook, and she had delicious desserts, and the table decorations were ridiculous. Her attention to detail was phenomenal. Martha Stewart would have been proud. Every time I came home, for about 20 years, she made mashed potatoes. She did that because she knew that I loved them. Nobody makes mashed potatoes like her. Another thing I remember about Mom is that she fed about half the neighborhood. She loved having the kids over to her place so she could keep an eye on them, I think. She probably heard a lot of things she wasn't supposed to, but it was a great parenting strategy, and she was involved. She really looked out for who her kids were hanging out with. And during this time, she was incredibly patient. We, looking at Jim, I think, ripped up shrubs playing football. I know we broke at least one door and a window playing, and that doesn't count all the trips to the hospitals that we made her take. And maybe most importantly, she made us to be disciplined in everything that we committed to, like homework, team sports, school activities. Whatever we signed up for, we had to take it seriously, even piano lessons. So while Mom was being Superwoman, Dad was growing a business, and he was providing for the family. And he did have time to play a little bit of checkers with us. We were pretty solid at that. Dad was exceptionally gifted at driving fast. Matter of fact, he was indirectly responsible for my first speeding ticket at age 15. That didn't go over real well with Mom. He also made sure we always had the right amount of inventory of butter pecan ice cream. It's about a gallon and a half. That's how much he has in his freezer today. We had some last night. And then during Girl Scout cookie season, while he was on a diet from me, he personally demonstrated to me how important it is to only answer the question asked and nothing else. And maybe most importantly, at an early age, Dad taught us about competition. This is a deck of Old Maid cards from the 1960s. It's 29 cents is how much it costs. The Old Maid, the deck's in great shape. The Old Maid is marked, the ear, and there's a tear in it. And Mom confirmed that he used to watch the Old Maid like a hawk. So so he could beat his precious 5-year-old daughter over and over. This might be another reason why Mom did most of the parenting. I've been married for 14 years, and recently my wife, Ron, and I were doing a Bible study and a devotion together, and one of the study questions was, tell us about a time in your life when you were the most happy. And Rhonda answered it for me real quickly. She said, that's easy. It was your childhood. Because you're always telling fond stories about your childhood. As I look back, I did confirm this with Linda and Jim. We all feel strongly that Mom and Dad gave us a loving home. They challenged us to be anything we wanted. And they told us we could be anything. And we were convinced of that. They demonstrated on a daily basis hard work, integrity, and generosity. And I can't really imagine asking anything more of them as parents. We were blessed by them, and we're proud of them. Dad, thanks. Your mom did really good.